Welcome to Main Street Living. I'm Cheryl Nelson.
Hey, I'm Quincy Carr.
And I'm Danielle Alvari.
Always a pleasure, the highlight of my week to see you guys. How's it going today?
Everything is going fine. You know, this sign just fell down right before. I always have this as a reminder that we all make mistakes, and it falls down right before the show starts. So I hope it's not a problem for the rest of the show.
Anyway, something tells me it might not be the only thing that falls in this show. Just a guess, but
that's not
more on that
later.
More on that later.
Yeah, well, you know, this month is a crazy month. It's just a wild month anyway, because we're celebrating so many things, including Heart Health Awareness Month, Black History Month, of course, the accomplishments of African Americans in this country, and also it's Valentine's month as well. It's the love month. So I remember last year, right before we even knew COVID was about to pop, I came back off my cruise ship gig, and it was right before Valentine's Day. So I told my wife and daughter, said, "Hey, let's all go out for Valentine's. I'm gonna take you both out."
Aw, cute.
Yeah.
Cute. Look at you all dressed
sharp.
up.
Yeah, we all got dressed up, looking nice and spiffy, you know. So that was a lot of fun, but it's just so crazy to know that COVID was lurking and we had no idea in a couple of weeks later. Shut down. How about you ladies?
Yeah, Danielle, what'd you do?
I mean, well, so I was working at night. It was a women's basketball game for UCLA, so I was the MC. Obviously, no in-person games this year. But yeah, I got to meet. I've met Bill Walton before, but he actually got to take a picture with me this time, which was great. And also Sabrina Ionescu, who was the WNBA first overall pick, is behind us, running behind us. So it was kind of a good photo bomb. Cheryl, what about you?
That's fun. Well, we usually just stay in, and it was warm. And so my 4 cats decided to hang out by the door because our neighbor cat Ming, who comes over a lot, was chilling outside. So we hung out with our cats.
The cat party.
Yeah, pretty typical, right?
Feline fun.
Feline fun. That's Cheryl's new show, Feline Fun.
I could totally have a cat show, guys. And speaking of, fun shows, we got a great show lined up for you today. In fact, I'm going to take you to South Lake Tahoe and share my recent adventures with you.
That's right, Cheryl. And we're chatting about the road to Indianapolis with good friend of the show, Victor Howell.
Ooh, can't wait. And we also get to hear all about body kindness from an expert.
All right, but first, you still have time to surprise your sweetie for Valentine's Day. We will have some great gift ideas coming up next. Welcome back to Main Street Living. Guys, I never know what to get my hubby for Valentine's Day, aside from the normal things like a card, some chocolate. I really need some new ideas.
You sure it's not socks and ties?
Okay.
No, that would be something different.
Well, so it's nice to get something that's handmade sometimes too, right? And I mean, I think we can all agree that some of the hardest hit industries in the pandemic have been arts organizations and theaters. So when the Old Globe Theater in San Diego's Balboa Park had to close their performance venues, they pivoted to doing online events like a lot of arts organizations, but they also did something very unique. They set up the Old Globe Marketplace where the staff could offer their goods and services to the public. So joining us to talk more about this, we have the Old Globe Associate General Manager, Ali Hisserich. Ali, thanks so much for joining us.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Hey there, Ali.
So Ali, tell us, for those of us who are not familiar, just give us a brief history on the Old Globe.
Sure. The Old Globe was in 1935 as part of the California Pacific International Exposition. And we've been creating theater in Balboa Park ever since. In a normal year before COVID, we produced 16 shows on our stages in Balboa Park year-round, in addition to our amazing renowned arts engagement department that brings programs to the community, out in the community, at correctional facilities and libraries and community centers. So we are a year-round busy operation.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm sure, because as you were mentioning about bringing, the entertainment to the community, when the pandemic hit, all the theaters worldwide just were forced to stop in-person performances. And as a comic, I felt that pain as well. You know, like what did the Old Globe or how did they pivot to continue the resource of its staff in the community?
Yeah, when our stages closed, we quickly pivoted to creating online programming. Our arts engagement department has a bunch of offerings in poetry, shows, and K through 12 resources, educational resources, and playwriting workshops. We also offered other media. So we did our beloved Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and we did it on the radio.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, we couldn't not do the Grinch. It's one of our
yeah.
We've been doing it for 20 plus years, so we had to keep doing it somehow. And then in addition to that, we have our marketplace, which has been for our staff to keep them working in some fashion and provide resources for them.
Yeah, you know, and that's cool because regarding your marketplace, we have another guest here who's here to talk about her creation. So let's bring in Beth Merriman, wardrobe supervisor of the Old Globe. How you doing there, Beth?
Hi there. How are you guys doing?
Doing great.
So good.
Great.
So Beth, am I understanding this correctly? So you make soaps, which are for sale on Etsy. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I was making soap for gifts and for hobby, you know, just to keep myself busy. And when the Old Globe went dark, when we didn't have any more performances, I was a little at a loss. I didn't know what I was going to do because I work backstage, and if there's no shows, then I have no job. So when Allie came to me and said, "Hey, we've got this marketplace," I'm like, "I know, I've got soap," and so I make it all by hand. It's all natural ingredients. It's, you know, not produced artificially in any way. And so it's been a real hit on the marketplace, and people have been really enthusiastic about it. So I was grateful for the chance to get my soap out into the world.
Sure. And you know, like how has the Old Globe marketplace been helpful for you in that regard?
Well, I thought about selling on Etsy, and I don't know if you've been on Etsy lately, but it's huge.
I have.
Like, you can buy everything on there, vintage clothes, sewing supplies, everything. And so my little soap corner was lost in all of the wonderful Etsy things. And so the marketplace has allowed my customers to focus, like it's brought me into the spotlight and said, "Oh, look, and you can support, you know that your money is going directly to a Globe artist. It's not going to some big corporation. You know, it's helping me stay afloat until we can get our shows back on the stages." And
cool.
So
Great.
That's
really
awesome.
great.
So Allie, there's quite a variety of other handmade items, right, too? And anything that would be a great Valentine's Day present, maybe?
Yeah, we have locally grown flowers, the beautiful specialty flowers from right here in San Diego. There's original artwork and illustrations and home decor and calligraphy. And then nothing says love like a face mask and a beaded mask change to this
Sure.
face day. You know, you gotta have everything. So there's a variety of things available on our marketplace.
Right. And where would someone go to get more information or even to purchase additional items?
Yeah, it's on our website, which is theoldglobe.org. And if you go /marketplace, you can go right to all of our market sites.
There it is. Well, ladies, I mean,
amazing job.
Yeah.
Amazing job. Taking the lemons and making lemonade. We tried.
Yeah, I definitely know it's not easy. So thank you guys for just trying to keep whatever you can alive for other people to enjoy. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
No problem. Well, I can tell you this, Danielle, after the pandemic ends, personally, I cannot wait to deliver a healthy dose of some much needed laughs and entertainment again.
I can't wait to come watch you.
Yes. But I can tell you also up next, before all of that, we could also use a healthy dose of love and kindness for our bodies. So stick around, talk about soap, stick around. We'll get Welcome back to Main Street Living, ladies. It is the week of Valentine's, and with virtual school and work, I have to admit I've forgotten about my own self-care.
Oh, no, Quincy.
Yes.
Well, Valentine's Day, there's a lot of love in the air usually, right? And this year, it's especially important to give back to ourselves too, to your point. So here with some insight is Rebecca Scritchfield, a well-being coach, registered dietitian, nutritionist, certified exercise physiologist, and author of the book, Body Kindness. Certainly a resume there. Welcome to Main Street Living.
Thank you for having me.
So the title of your book is Body Kindness, Transform Your Health from the Inside Out and Never Say Diet Again. A lot of people like the sound of that. And you say that for better health, people don't need diet plans. They need body kindness. So what exactly does that mean?
Yeah, right now, if you think about when we decide to get healthier, the very first thing we look for is what's the perfect diet plan that's going to help me lose weight, because then I'm obviously going to get healthier. And that's actually not true. You might lose weight for a short term, but then you usually regain weight. And in the process of trying to lose weight, your food becomes less fun, your exercise becomes punishing, and it really is very joyless. So body kindness is about starting by being good to yourself, that say, you know what, I might want to make some changes in my life and in my habits, but I am good and worthy as I am. And I want to take a much more positive and compassionate approach to think of health as well-being. So a mind, body happiness, not just appearance.
So
Absolutely.
important.
Yes. So, I mean, tell us more about like, how does body kindness help improve like just our day-to-day habits and our mental health as an overall?
Sure. So you want to think of it like if you were to give the care to yourself that you would recommend your best friend do. So it's really, there's a lot of intuitive sense to it. It's almost like you want to say, I want to be here for you through the highs and lows and the good and the bad. What sounds like something that you need right now? And so it really is a responsive way to be gentle and compassionate, non-judgmental, which is really helpful because you can feel that voice of your inner critic, almost like marking you off for all the bad things you did. And it puts you in this downward spiral feeling. And so in Body Kindness, I talk about spiraling up, which is the reverse, where you're kind, compassion, and flexible thinking that says, yeah, this doesn't feel so good, but what would you like next that might feel a little bit better? And there's all types of things, whether it's around your sleep, your food, your movement, and even in your relationships, that can make a big difference.
I'm so glad that you brought that up, because a lot of the times I find myself being the biggest cheerleader for my family and friends. But then when it comes to myself, yeah, I'm not a cheerleader for myself. And I think we all should be. And that's what you're here advocating today. So talk about why the most important relationship we have should be, with ourselves and our own bodies, and why this is especially important for Valentine's Day.
Sure. Well, I think that in any relationship, there's some type of caregiving that we're pushing outward. And when we put all our efforts outward, there's like nothing left to go inward. And, your relationship with yourself is the most important, because you're going to be your best emotionally well, your most positive and optimistic, and you're going to put your best energy out there for others. And so it's kind of a give and take. When you are kind and compassionate toward yourself, you feel better, your mood and energy spiral up. I mentioned that a little bit earlier, and you're much more likely to want to connect and engage with others and have more positive emotions. That alone has been shown in research to be like a little antidote or medicine against anxiety, depression, insomnia. So all things that we're really trying to fight these days. And then of course, around Valentine's Day, I mean, most literal, it'd be great to have some chocolate and not feel guilty about it. But also it's like, be your own Valentine. You don't have to be in a romantic relationship to deserve good love. There's lots of ways to give and receive love. And it does start with yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm a big fan of Valentine's Day. And I love what you mentioned about starting with yourself, because my mom always says, like, you can't pour from an empty cup, right? So what's one tip anyone can do to get started with body kindness right now?
Oh, right now, anything you can do is just take one big deep breath. When you exhale, I want you to think of that thing that's nagging you and just let it go. Like blow it out, blow it away from you, and just take a deep breath in and let one good positive thing. It could be your favorite song lyric, your favorite affirmation, somebody who matters to you, but move the energy. We all have to breathe. And if you're breathing, you're able to relax, regulate your emotions, and just think a little bit more optimistic. And believe it or not, those feelings lead to a slew of positive self-care choices. The things you know and you hear are good for you, but it's not a lecture. It's a wanted energy that you bring to yourself because you feel ready.
And before we go, how do people find time? You know, how do you set aside time for yourself? Because I'm such a planner and I don't plan in.
She's a Capricorn.
I don't do it.
You know, we think that two things, rest and fun, are frivolous and there's no point. But it's actually one of these things. If you think about what is something that I know that I would enjoy, and that if I don't have to see an immediate benefit, that I know it's kind of like taking a daily vitamin. In the long term, I know it helps me have strong hair and, you know, nice, healthy skin, but I don't see the instant I take it. I want you to think about basic things like rest and having fun. And it could be a minute. What's your favorite song you remember from high school or college? Play it and go nuts in your living room. Even if you're by yourself, doesn't matter what you're wearing. But you say you deserve that. I deserve this moment of pure joy and happiness or silliness, and good things follow. It's that immediate expectation that we think all life's problems are going to be solved. Not everything, but that spark of joy will come, and you'll see life feels better when you could bring joy into your life.
Oh, you're so positive. And where can people get more information about your book?
Sure. Bodykindnessbook.com.
All right.
Simple. Keep it simple. We love it. Thank you so much for joining us.
And thanks for having me.
All right. Stick with us. Whether you're playing the short game or the long game, we got tips for your game. So don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to Main Street Living, ladies. I feel like if I can do any sport, it cannot involve like golf swings, because anything with swinging like a baseball or golf, I'm horrible. Basketball, football, I'm great.
Same. I don't have the hand-eye for anything that like extends beyond my body, right?
Really?
Yeah.
See, I played softball for years, but when I tried golf, I can't do it. I always swing it and I hit the ground and it ends up hurting my wrists.
Right.
Especially if it's cold ground or frozen, right? And it seems like it's cold and dreary right now for a lot of parts of the country. But in Arizona, it's actually prime golf season. And now we get to hear from Arizona Living host Kate Longworth, who was able to chat with a legendary golf coach, Tim Mahoney, who has some valuable tips to improve your game. You should check it out.
We're honored to have one of the top golfing coaches in the country joining us right now, Tim Mahoney, to shed some light on the game of golf, provide us with some tips. And Tim, your work speaks for itself, but we're still going to talk about it. However, first, just take me through how you developed your love for the game and your passion for teaching.
You know, I come from a sport family. My father played basketball in college. My grandfather is a Hall of Fame basketball coach from Iowa. My wife is All-American gymnast. My wife's mother is a 4-time Wimbledon champion. So golf is a sport, and I've been very blessed to be around this sport. I think coaches do make a difference in trying to create this golfing culture of movement matters, and just have fun with it.
Yeah, you love the game. You are the Global Director of Education and Coaching at Troon. So how do you want people to perceive the game? You want to bring the fun back, you can tell. So how do you do that?
Yeah. You know, you get 5 hours to play with your friends, get some exercise in, you know, you can walk a little bit, there's some stretching involved, but it is a great game, and it's a game of a lifetime. Anybody can play the game. Our job as coaches, what can we do to get people playing more?
And I imagine when people find out that you are a coach, they have questions. So what are some of the top questions you get, or rather, what are some of the top tips you want to give golfers out there?
all golfers can do three things. One, can hold the club the right way. I use the word hold. So hold the club in the fingers. If your glove wears out, your grip is incorrect. So make sure you hold the club the right way in the fingers. Second, stand nice and tall, nice proud posture. And you don't sit at the knees, you don't round your shoulders, you don't sit on the stool, a bar, you always hear you sit in the bar stool. No, you stand tall and bend at the hips. And thirdly, hold your finish as long as you can. So again, hold your finish as long as you can, and hope that's a long time, that's a good shot. But golfers can do those three things. Again, grip it, posture, hold their finish. They're gonna have fun playing the game of golf.
Is there something that you repeatedly see, whether it's a star on the tour or just an everyday golfer, just some mistakes that are made or just some common things you've seen from golfers in the game?
This is my 47th year coaching, and I've never used the word keep your head down. That's one of the biggest myths in golf. Second, you don't keep your left arm straight. You keep your left arm relaxed. And you got to move. They're moving freely on both sides of the swing. So don't be afraid to move going back, move going forward. But if all golfers can hold their follow through as long as they can, that's a sign of a good swing. Jack Nicklaus, I make this comment every day, Jack Nicklaus says that 95% of the swing occurs before you swing. So get yourself in a good setup. So as coaches, if we get golfers looking good, they're going to perform better. Have a good time. We don't want golfers to quit. Get the ball up in the air and swing the club freely on both sides.
And you've coached some of the greats in the game, from Arizona hometown hero Billy Mayfair to former world #1 golfer David Duval. How do you adjust your coaching and teaching to their skill set?
What I learned is the difference between an amateur and a professional. And I've had some great conversations about the golf swing with Tom Purtzer. Just make it simple. And sometimes as amateurs, they're working on, I got to lift the club cock going back. I got to stay center going back. I got to turn my shoulders 90 degrees, my hips 45 degrees, start my downswing with my hips. Well, you can't perform that way. So if I can make changes without the student being aware of it, then I've done a good job. So to answer your question, what I learned from the pros is to come up with a plan that I can kill several birds with one stone. If I can do that, I've had a good day.
Troon has golf courses all over the world. What makes Troon North so unique, that must-see, that must-play course right here in our backyard?
I'm always asked if I had to play one golf course in Arizona, it'd be at Troon North in the Monument course. I think that's a great piece of property. You look at the third hole, the rocks out there, and I tell the story all the time, is that when Weiss Golf was designing the golf course, there's this big rock in the middle of the fairway. And they said, let's get rid of that rock. Well, they start digging. All of a sudden, they can't find the bottom of the rock, and the rock is there. So that's still the test of time. But the golf course is always in great shape. The grounds crew up there. We got great playing conditions. If you think about it, I can remember every hole. And that's what's great about Troon North, is the golfers can play it once, they'll never forget it.
You're absolutely right. Tim, thank you so much for your time, sharing your tips and your love for the game with us. And if you would like more information on Troon, please head to their website.
Welcome back to Main Street Living. Quincy, Danielle, I know that each year a lot of sports fans look forward to March Madness.
True.
Yes. Yes. And we survived the Super Bowl, right? We made it through. I know that Quincy's still upset that his Cowboys weren't in it, but we can look forward now, right? We can look forward to next year for him for next season, and we can look forward to March Madness and college hoops. So here to talk to us all about that, we have sports analyst Victor Howell. Victor, thanks so much for joining us on Main Street Living again. Great to have you back.
It's great to see you all once again, and get ready to talk some more sports. Quincy, Cowboys, we got to find you another team. You hold your breath waiting for them. Whew, it's going to be a long wait, pal.
Victor, I tried.
I've been patient this long. I'll hang on for a couple more years.
Oh, you're going to give a couple more years. Well, your patience is strong, my friend. Congratulations. Yes. Good luck with that.
Bless your heart, Quincy. So, Victor, we're just a few weeks away from the NCAA tournament, and it seems like every day we're seeing games postponed because of COVID. What's kind of the latest in the road to the playoffs?
You're right. That's exactly what's been going on right now with college basketball. I heard you saying there at the top that we made it through an NFL season. It's amazing that we made it all the way through the NFL season to get to the Super Bowl. And even though we had to push football games back a day or two, sometimes even that one Wednesday game, it's incredible they made it through a full season. College basketball is doing its best, just like college football was able to pull it off, but certainly not going to be easy. I mean, as we're talking right now, Florida State is in the process of putting its program on pause. They've got 3 games now they have to try to reschedule. Louisville is having to reschedule 2. Earlier this season, where I'm from, I'm based in Louisiana, LSU went through it. They had to move 2 or 3 games. You know, when you look at the standings, some teams have played 19 games. Some teams have played 11. Right. You know, they are doing their best with dental floss and toothpicks to keep this season together as best they can. But really, as has been the theme all year long, it's hold on, wait and see, because you never know. It takes that one exposure to shut a program down. And we're really close to conference tournament time, and they're doing their best to get to it. But it really is a wait and see type of mode, because all it takes is one test to mess up the entire schedule. Teams have been dealing with it all year.
Right. Yeah, Victor, you were talking about, like, you know, getting close to the conference championship and obviously the tournaments. That was around the time last year, I remember, because where we live here in VA, it's the MEAC tournament.
Sure.
And people were, I think, through the first half part of the tournament, and then all of a sudden it was like, yep, they got to, you know, shut the whole tournament down. So what should we be looking for in the next couple of weeks, man?
Well, I know everybody wants to get back to where they were. You're right, because the SEC, the Big East, a lot of them, they had fans in the arenas, and game time was delayed 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and an hour and a half later, they finally had to say, look, we're shutting this thing down today. And tonight, little did we know, it'd be shut down for good. I think we're going to make it to the tournaments. We've made it this far, and it doesn't look like there's anything going on in the medical world that's going to absolutely shut sports down again like it did 1 year ago. But the big key, if your particular team, insert your team name here that you're looking for, is look for something like Florida State and Louisville. They're dealing with it right now. If they can get through it right now, they might be on the good end, on the backside, to be able to have a full squad, you know, and to make it to the tournament. There are a lot of teams that have made it unscathed this year. It's been their opponents. You know, detour for a second to women's basketball. There are programs like Vanderbilt and Duke. They shut it down for the year. They had called off their season. Because the players didn't want to go through the risk of the health and all the games being rescheduled. I haven't heard of men's programs that have done that. But to answer your question, what do we look for? It's really just, can your team stay healthy and avoid coming into that one person of contact, whether you get sick on your team or you're in contact. You mentioned the Super Bowl off the top. Perfect example. 20 Kansas City Chiefs are about to go get their hair cut. The barber tests positive. I mean, that could have shut down everything for the Super Bowl because they're going to get their hair cut. So, you know, it's really, we're in such an unknown world right now, an unknown time. You really just have to stay locked in literally. You know, keep yourself within your team, keep yourself healthy. If you're in the basketball program, you only have 8 more weeks. You got to finish February, get to the conference tournament, and then 3 weeks of the tournament. If you can dedicate yourself to 8 weeks of confinement, focus, you'll have a better shot than others, because you'll avoid some of those unnecessary contacts that could put you or your program in trouble.
I love it.
Right. I love that. You have to stay locked in, literally. So something's going on different with the scheduling this year with the tournament as well. So is that the only thing kind of that's different this year with COVID-19? I know that people are going to see that, you know, the games are played on different days than they're used to.
Yep. Yeah, the days are one thing, because it's usually that Thursday through Sunday for 3 straight weeks, and you get to the semifinals, of course, and the finals on a Monday night. They've changed that this year. You used to go to Dayton for the first 4 in, and then everybody would spread out around the country. Like, you have to go back a while. When I was playing college ball, I played it at Tulsa. But when we went to the tournament my freshman year, we went to Arizona, and it was such a thrill. We're going to Arizona. Steve Kerr is there for U of A. Jeep Jackson for UTEP played in that regional when I was there. There's not that excitement of, A, are we in, and B, which region are we going to, because the NCAA tournament put everything in Indianapolis. Probably a smart move, because there's so many outlets there with other colleges, plus with Lucas Oil Stadium. They're actually going to put 2 courts in that big football stadium and split it in half. You don't have to worry about crowds. That's not the issue right now. So it's just going to be able to manage to play all the games, and then they'll use some of the universities in the area. So that's the first big change, is that teams aren't going to be waiting to see where are they going. They just want to get in. They know they're going to Indianapolis. And then you mentioned the days. There are changes now. They'll be playing on Tuesdays. They won't be playing just a straight Thursday through Sunday. There may be a day off. You might play on Tuesdays until you get to the final weekend. They'll still have the semis on a Saturday. The finals will still be on a Monday night. But the road to get there, while all in one city, will involve different days than what we're used to.
Man, I certainly can respect what you're doing. It looks like you have it all covered. By the way, you'll be hosting coverage of the tournament here on Your View starting March 13th. So with obviously the Advancement to Indianapolis show, what will you be covering really quick before we go?
Yeah, well, we're looking forward to that. Advance to Indianapolis will start in mid-March, right after the brackets come out, and we'll have analysts and coaches from around the country in different regions talking about their teams and which teams to watch, as we know they're getting to Indianapolis. But we'll have full previews of all the brackets each week until we get you down right there to the Final Four on April 6th. We're looking forward to it.
Nice. You did it all before the 24-second shot clock expired. Hey, thanks
Left
again.
side. Left-handed, baby. Left hand got to follow through. Hold it. We're good to go.
Thanks again, Victor.
Wow.
Thank you,
Great to see y'all.
Wow. Danielle, I know this in basketball, missing a couple of shots in a row is called going cold. But for our co-host, Cheryl, going cold is the only way to enjoy a fun trip to Lake Tahoe. I can't wait to see what she did after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to Main Street Living. Cheryl, I have to ask you this now. Whether you're a frequent flyer mile user or adding to your 980,000 travel miles you put on your car, is there any part of this country you have not seen yet?
You're hilarious. First of all, I've got lots of Sky Miles with Delta. I'm a medallion. Second of all, my car only has 335,000 miles.
I was close.
Cheryl, we're worried. Right. We're worried about that car.
Oh my God, no. I'm going to keep it going. But yeah, I've been to all 50 states. I've been to over 30 countries. But there are places in the U.S. that I have not been to, lots of remote places. One place I'd actually never been to in the winter was Lake Tahoe. And it's right there in State Line, Nevada. You cross over from Nevada into California. You can walk between the two states. You can ski between the two states. It was really cool. And I was actually there for Operation Sierra Storm. It's a small invite-only weather conference. We had less than 15 people this year. Social distancing, masks were worn. It was put on by Weidinger Public Relations, sponsored also by Tahoe South and the Lake Tahoe Visitors Authority. Guys, it was actually a lot of fun because not only did I get to be there with some of the top weather researchers, meteorologists, but also I got to see a lot of the Lake Tahoe area, which was really cool too.
Nice.
Do you like to also be able to do work while you're on these trips a lot of the time? Because it seems like you do a good job of blending both, like work and leisure.
Yeah, when I get to travel for work, I always got to put in some playtime too. And so I think the work gives me a nice excuse to travel. It's great because you see people, colleagues, you learn a lot, but then they always factor in some playtime, which is what I love about this conference. In fact, the first day that I was there, guys, I got to go snowmobiling. This is something that I wanted to do my whole life. I've never done it. I lived in Syracuse for 4 years. You'd think I would have done it while I lived there.
And you love snow.
I do love snow. And so Lake Tahoe Adventures was incredible because they had great snowmobiling tours. We went up, I think it was over 9,000 feet. My friend Brian and I went, and he'd only been once, and it was a long time ago. But it was so beautiful, and it's so much fun, and it's actually smoother than you think to ride on this.
Yes, that was my question, because like I've seen jet skis and I've been on the jet ski. It is not this. Does not do good for your back at all. And so I'm just imagining a snowmobile may feel the same way. Is that right? Or not?
It wasn't that bouncy, actually. And we had a GoPro. We were taking the video, and it was super cold, though. So we had to keep putting our gloves back on to warm up. But it turned out really, really nice. And the weather started out sunny, then the clouds came in. But I had some beautiful scenic pictures as well while we were out there. I mean, the mountains, the lake, everything about it was pretty, guys.
Yeah.
Did anything unfortunate happen on your trip, or was it all smooth sailing? Was it all smooth sailing, or
ask that, Danielle? Well,
just because you're Cheryl.
Just because I know. Just because I'm me. I'm not the
something's bound to happen.
Person in the world. So I do ski. All right, I've skied out west before, and I'm an okay skier. But there was an unfortunate event at the ski resort out there, Heavenly. We'll show you more about that coming up. But yeah, my friend Brian and I, we were up at the top, and it was a blue, but blues are more like black diamonds if you compare them to the east. And I hit an icy patch. Down I go. On my head. Thank goodness I was wearing a helmet. Brian was calling me out, share. And I was unresponsive for the first few seconds. Miraculously, Ski Patrol was there. He comes up, asked me some questions. Where am I? And I knew that. He asked me what month it was. Didn't know.
Well, it's COVID.
I could answer the question, but it took me a bit. I had a bad headache, but good news, I'm okay. Checked out fine. Everybody there at Heavenly was amazing. So
clearly,
I need to see more from this resort. It sounds amazing.
Yes.
Your story was so good, I just lost my sign. It just fell.
At least you didn't hit your head cute like I did. At least it stayed away from that. And so speaking of Heavenly Ski Resort, Heavenly Mountain there, you want to see more of it? We got more of it. It's coming up on Main Street Living. Yes, find out how you can ski in heaven. Don't go away.
Welcome back to Main Street Living. Now, of the three of us hosts, I think the one of us who has the best shot at going to heaven is probably Miss Cheryl. No offense, Quincy. No offense. I do live in Sin City. You know how I do.
Oh, Danielle.
And Cheryl, you recently got to have a Heavenly experience.
I did. If you've never been to Heavenly Mountain Resort, oh my gosh, guys. Again, it spans Nevada and California in the Lake Tahoe area. It is probably the most beautiful ski resort I have ever seen, with Lake Tahoe down there at the bottom. And we teased it earlier, and now you're going to get a look at my experience.
This is so beautiful here. I am at Heavenly Mountain Resort, and behind me is the beautiful Lake Tahoe. It's such a gorgeous scene here, guys. It definitely feels wintry from what I hear too. The ski season actually goes until April, believe it or not, in this part of the country. And so speaking of that, now I want to bring in Russell Carlton. He's the communications manager for Heavenly Mountain Resort. So this is gorgeous. Tell us what sets Heavenly Mountain Resort apart from other ski resorts in the United States.
Well, Heavenly Mountain Resort is the largest ski resort in Lake Tahoe. We've got some great views of the lake from Heavenly, so that really sets us apart. So get off those computer screens and come get some real Instagram shots right here at Heavenly. As you can see, it's snowing, it's a winter wonderland. It's going to be a fun rest of our season.
And I know you're taking safety protocols as well here at the resort. Talk to us about that. Are things open here? Can you ski anywhere?
Yes, guests need to know before they go. So visit our website. Things can change rapidly. Masks, face coverings are required in our operations. We do require reservations, and those are all designed to allow guests to spread out. We have nearly 5,000 skiable acres for a guest to be outside skiing and riding. So so we're open, and the more snow we get, the more terrain we're open to get. So it's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. And where can people make their reservations?
They can make the reservations at skiheavenly.com.
Thank you, Russell. And I got to tell you guys, you got to come out here to Heavenly Mountain Resort. It spans Nevada and California, right on the border, and the snow is in the trees. I cannot picture a prettier scene. So I think I'm going to go hit the slopes again. See you guys later.
Okay, Cheryl, so as you skied away there, is that before or after the fall?
That was before I fell, but remember, all is good, guys. It was beautiful. Ski Patrol was everywhere. Highly recommend it. Skiheavenly.com. They got a lot of snow, feet of snow right after I left too. So lots of fresh powder out there.
Wear a helmet.
Whether it's Cheryl falling or my sign that keeps falling, regardless, we try to be perfect, end up being human, but we'll be right back with more Main Street Living.
Welcome back to Main Street Living, guys. Thanks for coming along to watch my adventures today. That was fun.
No, it was. Yeah, I was seeing a lot of. And Danielle, you mentioned earlier in the show something about Galentine's. Like, what is that?
Yeah. Are you jealous? Do you want like a Galentine's Day?
No.
Oh, cute.
I wanted to know what it was.
There's always room for some man love. Yeah. Galentine's Day. I love it. I still write handwritten Valentines. So I'm looking forward to seeing, people get them, and I send little chocolates and things like that. So,
oh my gosh. Are you going to send
So Cheryl, yes. Check your inbox. Yes. And Quincy, of course.
All right. I'm going to look for that. That sounds good.
Yeah, well,
your inbox, your mailbox. Sorry. Everything's digital now. Now your inbox, your mailbox.
Yeah, well, you ladies look for that. And to our viewers, you keep looking out for us on the go. You can catch us on our Cox Contour app, just like Cheryl, on the go.
On the go, always. And don't forget new episodes of Main Street Living every Monday at 9 p.m. local time. So make sure you join us again as we take another stroll down Main Street.